Yes, good morning, my dear friends. Hope you are all doing well. I am Srinivas Ayyagari in front of you today. I am going to talk to you on a very, very important subject which most of us are not aware and which is very much aware necessary to get an understanding of the subject which I am going to present to you now. Before starting my talk, I request you, my dear friends, to circulate this particular video to maximum people so that across your friends and your relations and or your social circles, so that the maximum benefit can be reaped by watching this particular discussion or my talk. The subject on which I am going to talk to you is regarding ASD, Autistic Spectrum Disorder. Autism spectrum disorder is a disorder usually connected with starts with the age of around 1 year or 2 years or maximum 3 years. And it starts impairing the capacity of the children to move in the society, to play with the fellow children, and to talk and communicate, to behave and mix with the society. So this particular problem, ASD, if it is left untreated, tomorrow this person will be left alone to his own fate, and because he cannot talk to anybody, he cannot communicate anything, he cannot hear a loud light, he cannot hear a sound, he gets very much irritated. So there are so many other disorders which goes on increasing. So the best way that is available to us, the best way that is suggested to us is prevention you cannot do. The treatment should start at the earliest level. That means you have to identify the problem at the age of 2 years or 3 years. India is a country where still the development in pediatrics and developmental pediatricians is very scarce in India. In neurology, neurosciences and adolescent neurology, clinical neurology and psychological neurology, so many things we are yet to get the expertise in semi-urban and urban areas and village areas. Of course, we have got some treatment centers available in metro cities like Hyderabad, Calcutta and Bangalore, Delhi and Mumbai. But mostly even the doctors are not aware, they are not able to identify the autism spectrum disorder. My dear friends, now I am going to talk to you how an autism spectrum disorder can be recognized in a child development. The developmental aspects of a child will be delayed in people, in children, kids having this particular ASD. Not all, it's a symptom there. They can't, they will be crawling very late. Even though they can walk, they still prefer to crawl. They can't talk. Their talking capacity will come. For others, they say, after 6 months, these people will get at the age of 1 year. So this physical development will come at a later stages only, not at par with the other kids. Then the wasted things is their eye contact. They can't look at your face or your eyes and talk to you, and their lack of response. If you say anything, they don't respond. And the spectrum is called, why it is called a autism spectrum disorder, the variations in this particular ASD disorder is so much that a person with autism spectrum disorder at grade 1, level 1, will be looking almost normal and his IQ levels will be almost identical with that of a normal child. Whereas at the high level of autism, he will be very much having very less of IQ capacity and they can't even speak even at the age of 10 years or 15 years. Ma, daddy, mummy, amma, those things are also, I have seen children, they can't utter those words. And their walking is impaired. Their other social behavior is also very much impaired. So the moment we recognize, basing on these situations, basing on these examples which I have told you, always you should suspect that there may be an autism spectrum disorder. Our elders and our people will be saying, "Arey bhai, chhod do, ye kuch nahi hota hai idhar." It must be a late development. Even when you are a kid also, you got developed at a very later age only. You started talking at the age of 2 years only. How you can expect your child to talk at the age of 6 months or 1 year? My dear friends, these are all unfounded. Please don't believe anything. The moment you get a doubt that The child is having a developmental problem or a psychological problem, and immediately you make him tested for autism spectrum disorder. Take him to a clinical psychologist, preferably who got his degree from NIMHANS, one of the best mental sciences institute in the world. So then, if there is no problem, there is no worry. If he is diagnosed to be having a problem of autism, immediately you can start the treatment. My dear friends, and you can make him almost at par with the fellow student in the days to come, the moment you start the treatment at an early age. The moment you are delayed, the chances of recovery is very, very bleak. So that is why I wanted to make a video making awareness, bringing awareness among all. What is an autism, how it comes, how it can be countered, how the child can be helped to be a part of the society, how to develop his communications and his social behavioral skills. As far as my knowledge goes, there is one established therapy. There is no medication for this. Only therapies are available, very, very established and approved by the FDA in America. It is called ABA, Applied Behavioral Analysis. ABA, it improves actually the social communication and other learning skills by reinforcing techniques, So it identifies the areas, weak areas of the children, and it plans out, it rolls out a special plan of action with the help of a psychology, a clinical psychology, and it starts implementing on the child, and the results are really astounding. ABA involves several techniques for understanding and changing the behavior. It is a flexible treatment, as I have told you, my dear friends. The type of a treatment differs from the person to person, because the level of seriousness, the level of severity, according to that the plan of action for this ABA therapy will be formulated. I suggest this ABA therapy should be always selected, this therapy should be selected only in a place who is highly qualified, preferably a person trained from NIMHANS in Bengaluru, and they should be board certified in USA, and preferably you should not put them in a lot, always one-to-one interaction should be always advisable. Now from our side, how to support the child actually, Now the main supporting team, what I call as a team which actually monitors the psychological development of a child starts with father and mother, because they are to play the important role in recuperation of the child. A psychologist, a pediatric neurologist, a developmental psychologist. These are all, and apart from that, ABA therapist. These are all will be forming a part of a team, and they will be making a lot of plans and other actions to bring back the child into normalcy. It is very effective, my dear friends. You see, if it started at the early age, the results are amazing. Recently, the Providence has taken me to visit one this autism disorder developmental center, actually rehabilitation center. It's a school in Krishnagiri district in Tamil Nadu. That school is nestled in the hills, a beautifully conceptualized place actually. 10 children are there, 10 attendants are there, 10 qualified ABA therapists are there. That means one-to-one. So I have seen and I imagine myself how such people can be so human. And the center is headed by Chitra Seshadri, madam. She is a qualified ABA therapist from America, and her husband, Mr. Venu, he is in BE, MBA and IIM from Bengaluru. And their own child himself was an autistic child. At the age of 3 years, they detected that he is having an autism, and they started giving this treatment. Subsequently, after giving the treatment, these people, they have become expertise and they have passed the exams and all. And now that boy, actually, he is fit to complete his MBA. My dear friends, my total concentration is first find out, you figure out that he is a person with autism, immediately you should start the treatment. I suggest a website, sambhavam.com, www.sambhavam, that means possible, sambhavam.com. It's not for promotion I am doing this. I have seen the center, I know the problem, so I am suggesting this. Kindly make use of it. All the best, Srinivas.